trying to see if my screen is right side up. Somebody comes in, please let me know. Thank you. Is my screen right side up? I'm out here in the park. Scotland. It's right side up. I was trying to do it landscape, but I got locked in on this portrait mode. I'm on my, I'm working on 6 miles right now, so I'm a little winded, so I don't have the energy. But I thought to just impromptu kind of drop in on you. I hated that my screen is not in the normal position. But I wanted to just say this to you. A woman's dress code is always important. So many times, we want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we want to say, well, I'm queen conscious now, and I know who I am, and I have my self-worth, and that's the most important thing. But that does not mean that you take and you sabotage your femininity. Does not mean that you take and you sabotage your personal brand. In the Father-Daughter Talk book, I talk about how your dress code is your personal commercial. And just because you're queen conscious and you're not finding your self-esteem in the acceptance of people or men in particularly, doesn't mean that now you just allow your whole image to just go to hell in a handbasket. Your dress code is always important. Your dress code is going to be important professionally. And, it's amazing how the way you put yourself together opens doors. And the way you fail to put yourself together closes doors. The people that get the opportunities a lot of times are not the people that are the brightest or the best. They're the people that represent. This is a very shallow, image-driven society that we're living in. It's an image-driven world. And, most people won't admit it, but the world is more concerned about the image many times than it is the content. And so it wouldn't be wise to be a woman of substance and just have no concern at all for the style. The Bible puts it this way: man looks on the outward appearance. That's a revelation there. But God looks on the heart. Most people are not able to see your heart. Excuse me, my sinuses are really in a different place right now. Most people are not deep enough to see your heart. And so your dress code has to be intentional. And you have to dress to reflect who you are. And, there are a few things about your dress code that I want you to consider. Your dress code is an indication, in most cases, it is an indication of where your psychology is. Think about the times you've been depressed. Unless you had a job that demanded you put yourself together to do it, think about the times you've been privately depressed and the way you looked, the way you laid in the bed and did not tend to yourself, sometimes for days. The way you looked was a reflection of your inner condition. Well, if that's true in our private lives, what is it saying about you to the world, and probably more importantly to yourself, when you as a queen can enter the world at less than your best? You go out publicly. Personally, I believe that a queen conscious woman should put herself together, even if she's not going to leave the house. And I don't mean put on heels and necessarily makeup and all of that, but you ought to be in the kind of shape that if somebody important rung your doorbell, you can answer it without making them wait 20 minutes. But what does it say to you about you that you can pass by a mirror and know that, this is 50% of my best, and be all right with going out into the streets like that? And then, to a lesser degree, what is it saying to the people in the world? We are all, striving to make connections with great people that can add to our lives and we can be a blessing to. But is the commercial appropriate? Are we really advertising, the quality of what we bring to the table? I'm discovering that in a lot of cases, we have women, for whatever reason, who are not concerned at all with their dress code and are misrepresenting themselves. They're deeper. They have so much more to offer. They actually look a lot better than they present themselves. But for some reason, you're comfortable with constantly going into the world, misrepresenting yourself in terms of the way you package yourself. And, y'all know I love you. I'm an advocate for women. I get beat up all the time. Well, not all the time, but a lot of times I get beat up by men because of how, I just have it's a purpose. God has put a purpose on my life to build women. But I have to be honest with you at the same time. You cannot continue to just go into the world with your presentation uncared for. You can't do it. You can't do it. You have the responsibility of representing yourself in a way. See, your dress code is designed. It's your personal commercial, as I write in Father-Daughter Talk book. It's designed to solicit curiosity from those in the world that you need to attract. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about professional relationships. I'm talking about friendships you need to make. But if you're not tending to see it, life is in segments, and you have to tend to every aspect of it. And your appearance is most important because it's the first thing that people are going to judge you by. It's the first thing that people are going to judge you by. I'm convinced that people have walked into lending institutions not dressed appropriately, and whoever was in charge made a determination like that. No. Now, is that right? No, of course it's not right, but does it happen? Absolutely it does. I've literally seen women that, just didn't put themselves together, and they would just kind of hung around the church and nobody paid attention. They wanted a husband. Nobody paid attention because there was nothing about their packaging. It's the reason when you go to the grocery store, you don't see a product in a brown paper bag with a magic marker putting a name on the bag. All of the packaging is colorful. It's called branding. Now, is the content equivalent to the branding? In a lot of cases, it's not. But if the branding is right, it gets a look, it gets a try. But I've seen women who failed to put themselves together, just hung around the church, and then one day decided, okay, I'm gonna do my best today, and nobody recognized them. And everybody clamoring, what's going on? What's going on? Well, today she decided to show her best. And I know that, when you've been hurt, traumatized, when Lisa and I first got together, well, this, I don't know if she's on here, but this even persists till today in some to some minor extent, because Lisa had been abused in her past. When she and I got together, I wanted a woman that would really just put herself together. That's what I want. You gotta represent. I gotta go places. I gotta meet people. I want you put together. But Lisa was comfortable in sweatshirts, sweatpants, big sweatpants and sweatshirts. Well, that was a trauma. That was her trauma, because she had been sexually abused as a child. She didn't want to reflect her femininity. And so I had to work with her. And for a lot of you, that may be your issue. That you don't want to. Maybe you've not even taken the time to think about it. But you're responsible